And you see the biography, and like most terrific fighters, he began boxing before he was 12 years old. In fact, very early age, 8. A very star-studded amateur career. He fought in the Olympics. He was a world championship silver medalist. And Roy Jones, he has that Eastern European mentality. It is about winning. They eliminate a certain amount of emotion from their approach to the sport.
Yeah, they don't care anything about how you look, or how you look at them. They just want to win. They don't care about none of the wild stuff. Just win.
All right, we'll see if Dzinziruk can get that done against Martinez tonight. Now here's the tale of the tape. Both fighters in their middle 30s, the new prime for boxing as conditioning gets better and better for modern athletes. Martinez giving up 2 inches in height. That's part of the style problem. Equal in arm length. They both weighed in a pound, 0.2 under the 160-pound limit. Martinez will weigh a few pounds more tonight, hoping that he packs more power than Dzinziruk. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions for this middleweight championship fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand at Foxwoods Resort Casino, Mashantucket, Connecticut. DeBella Entertainment is proud to present, in association with Banner Promotions and Gary Shaw Promotions, the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBC Diamond Belt Middleweight Championship. Sponsored by the MGM Grand at Foxwoods, Corona Extra, and El Centro del Ring. Dominican Republic Tourism, it has it all. Hennessy, and boxing is back at Foxwoods Saturday, April 16th. It's HBO World Championship Boxing, Berto versus Ortiz for the Welterweight World Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the Mashantucket Pequot Gaming Commission, Chairman George Henningson, Vice Chairman Kenneth Reels, and WBC President Jose Suleiman. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout will be Glenn Feldman, Julie Letterman, and Steve Weisfeld. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, referee Arthur Mercanti Jr. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gold, officially weighing 158 pounds. A perfect professional record consisting of 36 fights, 36 victories, including 23 knockouts. From Kiev, Ukraine, Dami Gasparai, the reigning WBO Junior Middleweight World Champion, the undefeated Sergiy Razor Dzinziruk. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with red, official weight 158 pounds. In 50 professional fights, he has 46 victories, including 25 knockouts, 2 defeats, 2 draws. From Quilmes, Argentina, fighting out of Oxnard, California, he's the 2010 Knockout Artist of the Year, 2010 Fighter of the Year, former WBC Junior Middleweight World Champion, former WBO Middleweight World Champion, the current Ring Magazine Middleweight Champion and WBC Emeritus World Champion, damas y caballeros, el gran campeón, Sergio Maravilla Martinez.
Let's go, champ. Just a chief second.
Good evening, gentlemen. You received the rules earlier in the night. Let's have a nice, clean fight.
touch gloves. Good luck to the both of you.
Good luck.
Dzinziruk's a 5-1 underdog, and those odds seem a little long because he is quite good. Maybe the longer odds are that this can be a fan-friendly fight because Dzinziruk fights with robotic efficiency.
Coach, let's go.
Martinez has to figure out a way to short fuse him right now.
We told you about the two missing trainers, Emmanuel Stewart and Freddie Roach, in the first fight, the Celtic War. Tonight, Sergio Martinez is fighting without the presence of last year's Trainer of the Year, the man with whom he has not appeared in the ring without him for the last 8 years, Gabby Sarmiento. Sarmiento waylaid by a personal problem which would not allow him to leave Oxnard, California. His younger brother Pablo is handling Sergio as the trainer tonight. We'll see if that has any effect. Conceivably it could, because Sarmiento was given credit for setting up the strategy that helped Martinez to knock out Paul Williams. Roy, you once held a world championship in this division. How do you expect this to go?
Well, I expect for Sergio to come out and make it a rough fight, try to get in early, land the big shots, and make Dzinziruk counter him. For Dzinziruk, I expect Dzinziruk to try to stay out there, use that jab to keep his distance with his feet like he's doing, and make it a technical boxing match.
We told you about Dzinziruk's height advantage. Because he stands up straight and Martinez tends to bend from the waist, the height advantage looks even larger in the ring.
He's also kind of bringing the fight to Martinez a little in terms of the space in the ring. He's going after Martinez, Roy.
Yeah, and I was going to say that in the beginning parts of the fight. I don't expect it to be boring because Dzinziruk is not going to stay away from Martinez. He's going to be right in Martinez's face all night long. He feels as though he's the better boxer because he's been boxing since he was a kid, and Martinez started late. But Martinez feels like he's the superhero type guy who can do all types of different Roy Jones type things with his hands down and make up for those great boxing techniques that Dzinziruk has.
Roy, Sergio Martinez fights in a unique style. Larry Merchant and I call it ambush fighting. He seems occasionally to charge his opponent, then move away at a different angle, and then come back with a fury again. What do you think of how he fights?
I think it's a brilliant tactic, especially for him starting late. People can't train for that. There's no simulation for that. Nobody knows when he's coming or when he's not coming. That's what makes him so important and makes him so spectacular in the ring.
Of course you think it's brilliant. You invented it.
Martinez has been the harder working fighter here in the first round. Dzinziruk, as you can see, very stiff and strong with that jab, and he's been stepping forward a little more than we might have expected him to, going after Martinez, as Max Kellerman pointed out early on.
The thing I do like about what Martinez is doing, though, is he's using his jab. He has the most effective jab right now, and he's the shorter fighter.
The last thing Dzinziruk would have thought was that he'd lose a jabbing contest to Sergio Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez has been able to land some clean punches against a normally very good defensive fighter here.
He's tripling his jab against a guy who's supposed to be a superior jabber. And already in round one, CompuBox tells us that of the 6 fights in which they tracked Dzinziruk, that was the most jabs ever landed against him in one round.
That's it, Sergio. Just like that. Keep working it just like that. Work the right hand. You see it coming. You see everything. Keep touching him up top. There you go. He's eating them all. Sergio, fake him before anything. Fake him, fake him. Fake him and cross him up top.
Short, long ones, easy ones, hard ones. Just work on it. Punish him, punish him. Don't forget, 2 floors. Want some water? Go. Go. Easy on the feet.
The talking in Dzinziruk's corner is being done by his longtime trainer, Alexander Polachuk. They brought in Freddie Roach as an additional trainer for the fight. Roach probably will be providing advice on tactics and strategy throughout the course of the fight. The first stunning CompuBox number, jabs. Dzinziruk, supposedly the superior jabber, 10 of 31. Martinez, 24 of 51 in round one.
I'm really impressed with Sergio's jab. Highly impressed with it. I never seen him have to use jab this much, but it shows that he has the arsenal that he can pull out whatever he needs to win a particular fight.
He's standing with his hands down in front of a taller fighter who's very good technically, avoiding most of the shots and out jabbing him as the shorter fighter.
Well, like most guys who have fought over the years with their hands down, he's doing it to invite the other guy to throw so that he can find a spot to counter big.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen with Dzinziruk. Dzinziruk going to stay just like he is, and he's going to Martinez is going to have to find a hole in that armor to land a big shot because he's not coming out of it.
And he's doing it. He's able to, just by being busier, but also being accurate, he has been landing against Dzinziruk without Dzinziruk giving him openings, although there was
the first big left-hand shot over the top by Martinez, and it found the home. There's a good, quick right hook by Martinez. His hands are so fast. He takes advantage of opportunities more quickly than most fighters can even dream of doing.
So this posture, I think, is a mistake against Dzinziruk now, with his hands all the way down below his waist.
It's a little bit of a mistake, but you got to also remember this. He's trying to take Dzinziruk's confidence, trying to make him think that he has no respect for him. So he's not doing it just to showboat. He's doing it as an act of taking this guy's confidence.
You think that works against a guy who fights without passion?
Well, you see that the guy's not coming like he was. I mean, he's there, but he's not throwing nearly as many punches. And now he's catching him over the top of that jab like he's supposed to, because having the hands down is allowing him, forcing Dzinziruk to punch a little bit more.
Martinez landed another left cross over the top of Dzinziruk's jab while Roy was talking, and popped Dzinziruk with 2 or 3 more jabs of his own. He's fighting tremendously effectively.
A lot like Roy Jones, does everything wrong and makes it come out right.
Well, that's because of athletic talent. That's what set Jones apart. That's what set Muhammad Ali apart. That's what sets Martinez apart.
Does he remind you, most of you, Roy, of any active fighter?
Yes, he does.
Because of his athleticism?
Yeah, he don't care. He gonna get the fans what they want regardless. He'll fight with his hands down against the best fighter he's fought. He don't care about that. As long as he knows this is what it's gonna take to make it a good fight for the fans, he'll take that gamble. May cost him, but he's taking it.
I want to remind you that immediately following our boxing program tonight, you can stay tuned for The Runnin' Rebels of UNLV, our HBO sports documentary on one of the most glamorous college basketball programs of the last 30 years.
It's all good. First, don't lower your front arm. Keep it forward.
Want to give us the middleweight picture very quickly?
Well, here's some belt holders. Nothing much to see here except for Sturm with the jab. Sylvester solid. Pirog is good. I like Pirog a lot. Knocked out Danny Jacobs. Good combination puncher. There's the middleweight champion, Sergio Martinez. Paul Williams is still around the division, though he's claimed he's going down. Pavlik claims he's going up, still around the middleweight division. Chavez Jr., not a great fighter, but a ticket seller. And there's the guy to watch on the far right, James Kirkland. He's a monster. He came up to me the other day and told me he wants Sergio Martinez, the only guy calling Martinez out.
CompuBox numbers on jabs through round 2. Martinez 43 of 98 to Dzinziruk's 19 of 72. Martinez overall edge in landed punches 54 to 28. He's basically doubled Dzinziruk so far, and he's landing the harder shots. That makes it so far a pretty easy fight to score.
Incidentally, the reason there's technically no belt on the line here is because Martinez's mandatory Zibik, really not in Martinez's class, was rejected as an opponent by HBO. And Martinez chose to take the money and fight on HBO rather than to defend his sanctioning body belt. We all know he's the middleweight champion of the world.
And you got to give him credit for that.
Ooh. Oh.
Dzinziruk popped Martinez with his best shot of the fight, a good, quick right-hand counter.
Martinez didn't know where his feet were for a second.
But Martinez goes right back to tattooing him with that jab.
And what's funny is, as technical as Dzinziruk is, he does not know how to counter this jab.
Well, very simple, Roy. He's getting beaten to the punch. He's getting beaten to the punch over and over and over. And as a counter puncher who is allowing Martinez to hit him 2 or 3 times, he's just falling behind in the fight.
Yeah, although last round he landed a good straight left hand. This round he seemed to stun Martinez briefly. I think he is starting to find some openings, which are there for him.
Yep.
Has a little smile on his face, does Dzinziruk.
The good thing for Martinez, though, is the other thing that's breaking Dzinziruk's confidence is that he's actually out jabbing the jabber.
Well, let's see if Martinez goes away from that over a period of time, or if he sticks with this jab routine all night long. It's a brave strategy to employ against Sergiy Dzinziruk, but everybody agreed that Martinez would have to do something brave and different to make this an entertaining fight and to turn the tactical war in his favor. Good, quick right hand by Dzinziruk. Martinez going away from the jab for a moment in favor of right hooks. Now he comes back to the jab, jab, jab. And drops his hands.
Other thing we see here is Martinez seems to be expending a lot of energy in doing his kind of I'm a better athlete than you performance. And Dzinziruk does not seem to be expending the same energy to land his punches, although clearly so far he's landing fewer punches.
Well, that's a given within their fighting styles. I think Martinez's style is particularly exhausting, and frankly, Roy, if he didn't have his endurance base from bicycle racing and soccer playing, I'm not sure he could do it.
I don't think he could either.
Dzinziruk is landing more now than was the case in the first couple of rounds. Pace of the fight begins to even out just a little bit.
Breathe, breathe. Good, very good round.
Champ, we gotta use the jab more. Double, double, double. Okay, both hands, both hands, both hands.
Сережа, ты голова. Голова, живот, голова. Пойдет это тройка.
Don't work just on the head.
Не вкладывайся в удар.
Head and body. Triple shots.
Быстро набрасывай кулаки, все. Он убирает голову все время, оставляет живот. Голова, живот и обязательно...
When he moves back, he opens his body. Working his body.
И еще.
And more.
Немножко передерживаешь переднюю руку. Чуть-чуть.
You're holding your front arm forward too far. Too long.
Она придет.
Just work on it. Work with it more.
Все, внимательно. Слева по туловищу больше.
You thought Sergiy's name was hard to pronounce. How about the Russian interpreter? That was an interesting graphic. Of course, it could have been worse. They could have been from Thailand. Punches in round 3. Martinez 30 of 76. Dzinziruk 23 of 53. High number of connects for Dzinziruk. Landed at a 43% rate. Good round for him, but Sergio had bigger numbers. And Dzinziruk dropped a knee. There's a knockdown for Martinez. A lot of people thought that couldn't happen.
Your knee hit the canvas, kid.
It happened,
Your knee.
and his knee certainly hit the canvas.
All right, Harold, now take us to your scorecard.
Okay, Chip. 3-0, 30-27, Maravilla Martinez. I tell you, I'm surprised as you guys that he's getting out jabbed. I mean, I was told that Dzinziruk is one of the best jabbers in the world. Maravilla Martinez just out jabbing him, out working him, out punching him. He won the first 3 rounds, 3-0 Martinez.
And he's knocked Dzinziruk down here in the 4th. And if what Dzinziruk told us yesterday is true, that's the first time he's ever been knocked down in his pro or amateur career.
I said his knee certainly hit the canvas. I would like to see a replay because he certainly went down. Whether his knee actually hit the canvas is a question. It did.
It hit the canvas.
And McCanty gave him a count.
I think what we're also seeing here is though Martinez was recently a junior middleweight, he's really developed into a full-fledged middleweight. You look at him, he's a big, strong middleweight. And Dzinziruk is really a junior middleweight. And the difference in strength, I think, is apparent.
It is, but you got to also look at it like this. Dzinziruk is not a strength type guy. He's not a guy who throws power, big power punches. Everything he throws is very basic, very controlling, and very under the radar. He's not throwing nothing big or nothing that's trying to tear your head off.
Multiple punches from Martinez, going in combination again. Brave aggressor against the taller fighter tonight.
Roy, is Dzinziruk doing anything wrong, or is he just being outgunned by a superior force here?
He's fighting behind Martinez's jab because you let Martinez jab first. It's keeping him in the second, so he's never first getting off. You can't make up Martinez's mind as quick as Martinez can. So he can't counter Martinez because he don't know what Martinez is going to do.
Roy, if in fact it's true that Dzinziruk has never been knocked down, what does that little dip of the knee do to his confidence?
It definitely takes a toll on him. And now it's giving Martinez confidence.
Dzinziruk's landed a couple of good shots in this round, a series of good shots a few moments ago.
And now Arthur McCanty warns Dzinziruk to keep it up after Martinez walks away from a low blow.
Come here. Let's keep it clean. It was an accident. Act like champions now. Keep it clean.
Sportsman.
Don't retaliate now.
See that? He's out in front of him with his jab, and Dzinziruk is not used to this.
There's a lot of physicality in Sergio Martinez, but you're seeing his mental strength as well. He is commanding the fight.
Sergio, you got to repeat the jab and put the left in. Continuously, repeatedly. Come on, Sergio, 1, 2, 3, and then again 1, 2, 3.
He see Martinez land a 1-2, which I thought hurt Dzinziruk real bad. Then a left hand on top of the head, really in the back of the head, send him to the canvas. His left knee definitely touched. All right, he sees Dzinziruk lean in to counter with a body shot. Because Martinez pulled his head a little bit, it made him throw a low blow. But Martinez is breathing a little heavy now.
He looked like he was heaving in the corner.
Average jabs per round through 4. We've talked to you all along about the audacious strategy of Martinez, who is out jabbing the jabber. 20 of 48 in that round, only 9 of 31 for Dzinziruk. So Martinez is still making his fight plan work.
And we saw Martinez keep up the pace against Pavlik and against Paul Williams in their first fight, which was a fast-paced, brutal fight. He has shown the energy to do this for 12 rounds.
Good hard left-hand shot by Martinez.
Anytime he fights behind his jab, he gets out in front of Dzinziruk, and Dzinziruk can't do nothing but take shots.
Another thing about Martinez is his hands are down, but he brings that left hand up right to his chin when Dzinziruk tries to counter with the right hand.
Good left hand by Martinez.
Do you get the impression, Max Kellerman, that Dzinziruk came into this fight determined to be more entertaining than expected for the American audience?
I don't know, but I do get the feeling that he thought that by cutting off the ring as the taller fighter and the more accurate puncher, ostensibly, that he was going to bring the fight to Martinez more than people suspected, certainly more than I did. And that has, I think, led to a more entertaining fight.
But has it operated against him by creating more opportunities for Martinez to land?
It may have sped up the process of Martinez pulling ahead, obviously, in the fight.
What I think is fighting all those guys that we don't know about in the past, this is how he fought. So he got used to being a guy who's very aggressive. He doesn't know any other way to fight now. He came up fighting guys who he was better than, so now he only knows to be aggressive. That's all he knows, that's all he could do.
Martinez's record is 46 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws. One of the draws was against Kermit Cintron, totally bogus. He easily won the fight. One of the losses was to Paul Williams in December of 2009, and many ringside observers felt that he won that fight. The only really decisive loss was to Antonio Margarito 9 years ago when he was basically a puppy.
Yep, and when asked about a potential rematch with Margarito one day to avenge the one real clear loss of his career, he said he's afraid he'd hurt Margarito at this point in Margarito's career.
Well, Martinez's confidence is so big now that he says some things that might sound outrageous to others. For instance, there are people who want to see him fight Alfredo Angulo, a sturdy, hard-punching, come-forward Mexican fighter who aroused a lot of excitement with Down goes Dzinziruk again. Second knockdown of his career. And he's getting hammered by a terrific fighter.
7, 8. You all right?
And once again, that's a result of fighting behind Martinez.
It's a result of being a super fighter, Roy.
Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. Don't jump around him. Don't yield. Do you hear me? Keep the distance. You won this round. Do you understand
Ты
me?
выиграл раунд. Вот
You
не
won this
надо
round.
уклонов делать. Ты не найти
Don't lean
только
over.
дистанцию. Ты все время двигаешься влево. Ты меня слышишь? Да.
Do you hear me?
Постоянно двигаешься влево.
Keep moving. Keep
Не
moving.
принимай. Не надо нырковость для него уклонов делать.
Here you see Martinez with a 1-2, a straight jab followed by left hand, followed by another jab left hand, which all causes Dzinziruk to keep his hands at home for defense. He couldn't duck the punches. He ducked right into that second left hand and send him down. Once again, you see Martinez with that beautiful jab, followed by a left hand. Then he comes right back with another 1-2 off the double jab left hand, right on the button.
Sergiy Dzinziruk's Russian trainer Alexander Polishuk told him between rounds, you won that round. Told him twice, was pretty emphatic about it. Did he miss the knockdown? Is he kidding? What was that all about?
He don't understand the scoring system here.
When I say Martinez is a super fighter, because when you can reduce a good undefeated southpaw like Dzinziruk, a good technically skilled fighter like Dzinziruk, to this, after destroying Paul Williams.
Roy, is it possible that a guy's punching power suddenly escalates to a dramatically higher level at age 35 or 36?
Yes, especially with the confidence that he had because he knocked out Paul Williams. So now he knows he can hurt Dzinziruk. You got to remember, Dzinziruk's coming up from junior middleweight. He's not a true middleweight anyway. So it's quite natural that Martinez is the harder puncher here. So Dzinziruk doesn't have no better sense or no better knowledge than to stay straight ahead and try to trade with him. And that's crazy because he's coming off the biggest knockout of his career against Paul Williams. His confidence is at an all-time high with his punching power.
You know, those are the details. I think the big picture is, as I mentioned, when you can do this as Dzinziruk, a guy like this, good fighter, and do what you did to Paul Williams. It's like what you used to do, Roy. It's the super fighter level. It's the Pacquiao, the Mayweather, the Nonito Donaire, the Sergio Martinez level. And I think those are the elite of the elite in boxing.
That's where they are right now. You mentioned the top 4 fighters in the sport, and I believe we all agree on that.
They're different from everyone else. They can do this to a fighter like Dzinziruk. Roy, it's what you used to do in your prime.
Dzinziruk fighting hard and aggressively in this round. Obviously, realizing that he's well behind on the scorecards. There's a good counter right hand by Dzinziruk. If he had more punching power, that might have bothered Martinez.
Bad part for Dzinziruk is he's still fighting behind Martinez.
Can you define what you mean by behind him, Roy?
Yeah, he's allowing Martinez to start his punches first. So when Martinez starts, if he tries to take off, it's like if me and you running track. If I take off 5 yards behind you and we're going to run the 40-yard dash and I'll take off and get a running start, then I'm starting first. If you start when I get right next to you, you're going to always be behind me. And that's what's happening here. I mean, you may catch up later on if you're that much faster than me, but if you're not superbly faster than me, you're never going to catch up.
Dzinziruk landing a lot of clean shots to the head in this round.
Like that.
Is Martinez seeking a knockout or still just fighting and letting it happen?
He's just letting it happen.
We're midway through the fight. It's another sensational performance so far by Sergio Martinez. Running Rebels of UNLV, that documentary coming up next on HBO Sports immediately following our boxing show. If you follow college basketball at all, you know the content.
Breathe, breathe, breathe.
Sergio, seguí trabajando en tu distancia, Sergio.
Sergio, you've got to work at your distance.
Escucha. Empezá a tirar en la izquierda,
Listen.
la izquierda abajo.
Throw that left, the left low.
Jab, jab, y tirásela abajo, Sergio. Cuando le tiras los ya.
Just a jab. Just calmer. Cold-blooded. Just go out like an owner. Cold-blooded.
Here's a numerical indicator of the style adjustment that Sergio Martinez has made to surprise Sergiy Dzinziruk in this fight. We're 6 rounds in. CompuBox has tracked quite a number of Sergio Martinez fights. Already, he's landed more jabs in this fight than he has on any other opponent. Changed his style significantly for tonight. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Jim, this is huge. 6 rounds to nothing, 60-52, an 8-point lead for Sergio Martinez. I mean, you gotta give him an extra point in rounds 4 and 5 for the 2 knockdowns. He's won 6 rounds, so he's got 2 extra points and 6 rounds. That's 8 points. I mean, you know, on the scorecards, Dzinziruk would have to do something sensational to win this fight or even get a draw. Be as it may, I think the mistake that Dzinziruk makes is he throws 1 right jab at a time. He very rarely doubles it. He doesn't triple it, and certainly he doesn't throw the Roy Jones 10-punch combination. I mean, it's too many one shots, not doing enough. Martinez ended the harder shots. 6-0 Martinez.
So with that big a lead, Roy Jones, should he now put it in cruise control and stop fighting in such a high-risk style?
He does have it in cruise control, but this is cruise control for him. To out-jab a guy is cruise control. That's not what Martinez does. You know that. So this is cruise control for him.
I think Dzinziruk had a pretty good 6th round.
Yeah, if you were looking for a round to give to Dzinziruk in the fight, it would have been the 6th. He actually was even in CompuBox numbers. But Martinez is the harder puncher.
What makes you say that? The 2 knockdowns?
That was sort of an indicator.
But you can look at the physical build of these guys, too, and tell that he's the harder puncher.
Yeah, actually, Dzinziruk has more the traditional boxer's musculature, the loose flowing muscles that allow for speed and quickness. Martinez is a little bit sort of buff for a boxer, and sometimes that slows you down, but obviously not him.
It slows you down, and sometimes it also doesn't allow you to take the best punch.
Guys, he's getting caught a lot in this round, Martinez, again. And Dzinziruk, these are not cupcakes he's throwing. They're not as hard as Martinez's shots, but they're accurate, straight shots to the head.
Oh, good shot by Dzinziruk. Oh, very good left hand by Dzinziruk.
And you heard in Dzinziruk's corner, the instructions were cold-blooded. Go out there cold-blooded. It's an intent. It's not just his temperament, it's also the strategy. They want him fighting like a machine.
Yep.
But with the 2 knockdowns already from Martinez, Dzinziruk may have to knock Martinez down or otherwise create some drama.
Not impossible. I think he's winning this round. I think maybe he won the 6th round. Dzinziruk.
Good jab. Good jab. Beautiful jab.
That jab is landing almost like a straight right hand. Right?
He puts on a show, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Earlier this evening, a stablemate of Sergio Martinez, Javier Fortuna, training under the Sarmientos like Martinez in Oxnard, California, took on Florida prospect Derek Wilson. There's a lot of excitement about Fortuna, the fighter in the white trunks from the Dominican Republic. There was a knockdown in round 3. There's a knockdown in round 6. There was a 3rd knockdown later in round 8. Big conditioning difference in the fight, which really made it easier for Fortuna to win. He did show some technical flaws, but the same man who brought Manny Pacquiao to these shores and who brought Martinez to the United States, Samson Lukowicz, has another find, or so he believes, in Javier Fortuna. Our Spanish interpreter, Jerry Olaya, reports that Martinez has complained between rounds in his corner that he's having trouble seeing out of the left eye. And now, Pablo Sarmiento is not out of the ring as they want to begin round 8. Sergio Martinez didn't have the mouthpiece in, and Arthur McCanty's getting very impatient, but now they fight.
Think that's stalling for time, Roy?
Yeah, I think so. I think Martinez may need to have another big knockdown or a knockout shortly, or he's going to have a long night here himself, because this kid is not going to stop coming at him. Dzinziruk is going to stay right like he is, and it's going to make it very difficult to deal with him if Martinez starts to tire.
Break! On the break.
Yeah, the coasting, Jim, may work against Martinez because it allows Dzinziruk back in the fight.
Well, that's exactly why I asked the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, you know, by backing off and going into cruise control, as Roy agreed that he did in the last round, he made it possible for Dzinziruk to come on.
Agreed.
But what else was he going to do?
Nothing comes easily in boxing. Nothing comes easily in boxing.
Well, he could continue to fight behind the jab, as you said, and set the pace. Now he is again. I think he realizes the need for it. There's more of a sense of urgency. Doesn't feel as.
There he is.
Here's the third knockdown of the
Won't
fight.
make it up this time.
This time, Dzinziruk is very badly hurt.
5, 6.
That was a tremendous left-hand shot. Not terribly different from the counter left hand that knocked out Paul Williams.
Not at all. Well, it was different. It wasn't an overhand left. It was a straight left.
And down goes Dzinziruk again, and this may soon be over with. That is the fourth time he's been down. And again, the brilliant technical Ukrainian fighter told us he'd never been down in his amateur or pro career. He's 35 years old.
Got a lot of heart, but Martinez just too much.
And he don't have sense enough to move and run away right now because that's just not his style. His style is just
This is over, and this is an amazing performance.
Maybe Sergio Martinez's most impressive performance to date. It is impossible to look good against Dzinziruk. He just looks sensational.
What a fighter. What a show.
This is not Paul Williams, who's going to be there to be hit, or Kelly Pavlik.
I have a great deal of admiration for Gary Shaw, who, along with Art Palulo, brought Sergiy Dzinziruk to the United States. But Gary Shaw adamantly said to me yesterday, I don't think Sergio Martinez is special. Gary, you're wrong.
He's special. And Williams and Pavlik, better fighters than Dzinziruk, but easier to look good against.
This was great. And this is a mark, not only again of his tremendous body and athletic skills, but what a mind, Roy. He outthought Dzinziruk from the beginning.
And he said that in the fighter meeting. I asked him, could he outbox him? Could he win a decision? He told me yes, he definitely could, and he did it with an exceptional jab that kept Dzinziruk fighting behind him the whole night.
And by the way, we asked Sergio Martinez yesterday what fighter he most admired growing up, and the answer was Roy Jones. Here are the replays, Roy.
Yeah, you see the jab that he's throwing. I say anytime he fights behind the jab, boom, he caught Sergio trying to counter him with a right hook and hit him right on the chin, took the legs right away from him. Well, once again, you see him start with a jab. He goes jab, jab, left hand, and he's consistently catching him right down in pipe with that straight left lead off of the jab. Once again, you saw him come with the 1-2, caught him with a beautiful left on the chin, but at this point, Sergio was pretty much done. Came back with a right jab, but he was finished. He tried to catch him. Oh, he did catch him with a shot while he was about down. Yeah,
he wound up knocking Sergiy Dzinziruk down 5 times in the fight.
Yep, he hit him high on the head. You know what's funny was he hit him high on the head like that almost every time. Like he found a sweet spot on top of his head.
Exactly. And here's another look.
Yeah, Sergio showed a lot of heart. He didn't know to back away when you're in trouble. He just was going to continue to try to fight like the corner instructed him, and it cost him.
47, 2-2 now for Sergio Martinez. Here's Michael Buffer with the particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 43 seconds of round number 8. The winner by TKO victory. His place even more secure as among pound for pound the best in the world. And now the winner of the WBC Diamond Belt, El Gran Campeón, Sergio Maravilla Martinez.
Originally from Argentina, later from Spain, now the pride of Oxnard, California. Sergio Maravilla Martinez retains his middleweight championship with another extremely impressive performance. Final CompuBox numbers, landed 65 more punches than Dzinziruk, threw 180 more, slightly lower connect percentage. That's how good a fighter is, good a fighter Dzinziruk is. But ultimately, it was Martinez's brave decision from the beginning to go out and jump Dzinziruk with his jab and out-jab the jabber that set up all the damage, Roy, with power punching later on.
Yep, that's what it was. When he came out and started with that jab, he showed us right away that he figured out how to neutralize Dzinziruk.
Max Kellerman stands by with the winner.
Congratulations, champ. Dzinziruk's known as an excellent defensive fighter. What was your strategy?
Era pues, anular su contragolpe y anular su jab. y trabajar sobre sus errores, y creo que pude hacerlo despacito y mucho me costó, pero pude hacerlo.
It was to nullify his punches, nullify his jabs, and it took a lot of work, but little by little we were able to do that.
One of the concerns tonight was that all this star momentum you've built by beating Pavlik and knocking out Paul Williams could fizzle if you didn't look sensational against this guy. Was that on your mind?
No, no me preocupaba. Como digo, siempre es una motivación extra porque me gustan los grandes desafíos.
Not at all, it didn't worry me at all, but it provided me with additional motivation because I love motivation and challenges.
Early on, you seemed to have the fight in hand, knocked him down a couple times. Then in the 6th, 7th round, you seemed to back off a little. He seemed to come on. What happened?
Sí, estaba esperando sus errores y él estaba haciendo buena pelea, por eso estaba mejorando él también.
I was waiting for his errors, and he was also presenting a better fight for himself, and that was why I was waiting.
The 8th round rolls around. You seem to come out with a little more energy. Can you describe what happened in that round, the knockout round?
También es un cambio de oxígeno, creo que es lógico en todos los seres humanos, o por lo menos en mí. Y nada, cambié de ritmo, aceleré y pude noquearlo.
I got a new wind, and it happens to every human, and I was able to press on the accelerator, change up the pace, and I could put him down.
Is pound for pound on your mind? Mayweather, Pacquiao not fighting each other. Is this on your mind to be considered the best pound for pound fighter in the world?
Es el sueño de mi vida y es lo que me obsesiona. Quiero ser el número 1 libra por libra y sé que voy a lograrlo.
It's a dream of mine, and it obsesses me, and I know I will be number 1 pound for pound, and I will obtain it.
Yes. How are you going to obtain it against what opponents in the near future?
Voy a seguir buscando a los mejores rivales y quiero Mayweather, quiero Pacquiao delante mío para ser el número 1. Los quiero a ellos.
I want the best rivals in front of me. I want Mayweather, I want Pacquiao, I want them in front of me.
Thanks, champ. Another sensational performance. Jim.
All right, more on Martinez in a minute. We want to remind you that immediately following this boxing telecast, we have the Runnin' Rebels of UNLV, the HBO Sports documentary, coming along immediately following. Stay tuned for that. There's great content in that one as well. Now, earlier this evening, we had another middleweight fight on this card, which also produced extraordinary drama. It was called Celtic War. Andy Lee on the left from Ireland against Craig McEwen on the right from Scotland. They had met in the amateurs, and Lee had dominated, and he won the first round here. But then McEwen took over and bombarded Andy Lee throughout the middle rounds with a constant onslaught, as you see right there. McEwen seemed to be taking command on the scorecards, but in the late rounds, Lee began to come back. And in the 10th and final round, he landed that big left-hand shot over the top. Referee Steve Smoger waved off the fight, and with a near miraculous seeming come-from-behind knockout, Lee disposed of McEwen and kept alive his career and his possible chance to be a contender for the middleweight crown. Scores in that fight showed that it was a majority draw going into the 10th round, so frankly, Lee didn't really need the knockout. If he had won the 10th on all 3 cards, he would have won the fight. Max is with Andy Lee right now.
Andy, congratulations on the spectacular come-from-behind knockout win. Can you tell me what happened in the fight?
I think for the fans it was an exciting fight, but for me, I'm not happy about it. I heard him early on, and I think that worked against me, really, because I just was loading up too much. I was looking for the big punch all the time. I didn't stick to any boxing. It wasn't consistent. Sugar Hill right here was telling me, you know, just throw your combinations, don't be loading up. But I became one punch happy. I was loading a hook happy. But in the middle of the rounds, I was losing the fight, and I was letting it slip away. And I said to myself, if he's going to beat me, he's going to have to kill me. And I just started walking forward, taking his best, and then I giving back my own shots. And I weighed him down. I saw he was wilting. And then they were saying, throw your 1-2s, let your hands go, throw in punches, don't combinations, don't be loading up. And once I did that, I started landing, and eventually, thank God, I heard him.
The way the fight was going, it looked from ringside, maybe he was going to stop you 6, 7 rounds. He was hitting you a lot. What difference was it not having a manual in the corner? All due respect, not having your usual trainer in the corner.
I don't think, with all respect to Manuel, I don't think it made a whole lot of difference, because it was my mistakes that my corner wasn't doing anything wrong. It was my mistake that was causing me to lose the fight. But I dug deep, I showed my heart. it was the Celtic War, what it was built up to be. Thank God that I got the victory.
Did you feel that your career hung in the balance in that last round?
I think it did. Not in the last round. In the middle rounds, I said, what the hell am I doing here? I'm letting this slip away. This is my chance. This is my opportunity. It's my night. And, you know, something inside me said, no, don't let it happen. And I took his best shots and I kept walking. I took walk for the fire. And I'd like to thank all the people that came here tonight and cheered me on. It made a big difference. I'd like to thank HBO, my promoter Lou DiBella, Emmanuel Stewart, Cronkly, and Sugar Hill, Roger Lee, and everybody.
Thank you, Andy, for a great comeback win. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Max Kellerman. Congratulations to Andy Lee and to his distant trainer tonight, Emmanuel Stewart. Not with him here, but a huge fan and friend of Andy's who will be very happy to hear that he was able to rescue his circumstances and probably his career with that knockout of Craig McEwen. Now let's go back to the subject of Sergio Martinez, for whom it's no longer a pipe dream that he could become the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world off the performances he's given in the last 2 or 3 years. But he says he wants to get Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather into the ring. At 160 pounds, with that musculature and the power punching he's displayed in the last 2 fights, any chance of that?
No. None whatsoever.
He would have to be the cash cow.
He definitely would have to be. For one, these guys don't need him right now. They can do other things. If Floyd not even fighting Pacquiao, who's his same size, Pacquiao looking at Floyd, looking at Mosley, with a lot of young 140, 147 pounders out there that they can go feast on. They're not thinking about coming up and challenging this light.
Yeah, absolutely. So Martinez's job is to continue to try to find the best middleweight contenders in the world to fight and continue to put on the show, right?
Yeah, that, and he possibly could move up to 68 and find some great competition.
Well, he says himself that he's never going to do it, but probably money and competition will conspire to at least make him consider it. Max, further thoughts on Sergio Martinez?
He's a super fighter. As I said, there are 4 fighters. There's Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Martinez and Donaire. They're different from everyone else. You can see it when you watch them fight. I don't know about Martinez going to 68 either. I think that the fight for Sergio Martinez at middleweight will be, in the next 12 or 18 months, James Kirkland. Not only is Kirkland a really tough, rugged guy and has done more with his talent than you would think that a guy could accomplish with his level of talent because he is so tough, Kirkland also has the willingness to fight Martinez, which a lot of fighters don't seem to have. And he has the kind of style that would make for an action-packed fight and may even bother Martinez, because when you look around at the middleweight landscape, Roy, I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't see too many guys out there, and I'm looking at them thinking, bet you he could have a real good shot at beating Sergio Martinez. Maybe in 12 or 18 months, Kirkland could be that guy.
Well, Kirkland has fought up to now mostly at 154, but with his body and his musculature.
Last fight was at middleweight. Next one's going to be at middleweight in a week or 2 for Kirkland.
So he's a 160-pound fighter now, too. And as for the possibility of Martinez going to 168, Andre Ward is out there, and Andre Ward remains unbeaten, and maybe the money for that would be enough somewhere down the road to bring them together. At any rate, it was a tremendous night of